Hey everybody, welcome back to another great video. And today I'm going to be discussing one of my favorite books, right? And this is something that's very important to me to talk about because at times I have actually read authors just because I read that they enjoyed a book that I really liked. That sort of gave me a connection even before I picked up their books. So I think that's very important for me to get out is what do I like to read? And today I'll be discussing the Marcus Ryker series by one of my absolute favorite authors in the world, Joel Rosenberg. And I can give him no higher recommendation than to say I've read everything he's written several times over. No higher recommendation exists than that for me. And the Marcus Ryker series, in my opinion, is his latest series. It's still ongoing. And he is just at the top of his game with this series. And it begins with the Kremlin conspiracy. Doesn't that just make you just want to read it right there? And you pick it up, and the premise of the series is, what if the US was not in danger of necessarily terrorism? What if Russia was overthrown by a dictatorial leader, right? Like, what if the current president of Russia was overthrown and a dictator takes place? And what if this dictator made a deal with Iran and North Korea and they all banded together to try to destroy the United States and Israel? That's the premise of the series. And of course, the series is also about Marcus Ryker, the former Navy SEAL Marine, who after seemingly losing everything he ever thought he cared for, he comes back to defend the president, and of course defend his nation. He's just such a great character. I really like him. But it's such a well-developed series. There's no wasted words. That's part of what I love about it. Joel Rosenberg is a very careful, very taunt writer. He remembered his William Strunk, economy of words, omit your needless words. That's from William Strunk and the Elements of Style. And Rosenberg is very well aware of that. And you have to remember, this is a political thriller. And Joel Rosenberg, it's almost like ripped from the headlines sort of storytelling, you know? It's like you read it and then you're like, wait a minute. A couple months later, you're like, oh man, it's almost like it comes to pass, only because he's just very wise and he just looks ahead. Such a great series. Just right from the opening scene, it just takes you in for a thrill ride and you're just like, whoa, what happens next? What happens next? So I love the Marcus Ryker series, one of my absolute favorite books in the world. I highly recommend you take a look at it, and that's just something I really enjoy reading. But did you enjoy watching? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.